Hi, my name is Isha Thatai. I am a part of Soil Institute of Management. I graduated in PGPM HR batch 2017 to 2018, the Pathfinders. I am currently working with Nestle India Limited. My current role is within HR, something called as people experience, which is largely about understanding and keeping employees at the center and designing processes and systems as per their needs and aspirations. Soil had a diverse curriculum. I really liked the fact they had something called as SIP, which was the Social Innovation Program, and I got a chance to work with the grassroots levels. I had to go to code, and I think the entire vibe of Soil was about holistic development and value-based education, which basically resonated a lot with who I was and where I was wanting to be. It was not just about building any sort of leaders, it was about building inspired leaders. All of this entailed and a beautiful curriculum designed with an amazing pedagogy. All of that helped me take a decision that I'd like to go ahead with Soil. Soil, I cannot just describe the experience in probably a few words. It was an amazing experience. I would say I was inducted 360 degree into how I can take my career in leaps and bounds to the next level. It was also about inculcating very few pointers and values within me so that I could create an impact which is not just from profit but also from people and also from a cultural standpoint, which are the elements very important for a HR professional. After Soil, I got a PPO from Grofers, which is currently called Blinkit. It was an e-commerce organization and it gave me basics of supply and demand. I was working into learning and development and eventually grew my career into talent management within the same organization. After Grofers, I joined a startup called Loconav, which was into fleet management and having dashcam software to track fleets. There I was an HR business partner, so a different role from a specialist to a generalist. Eventually, I landed up to Times Internet, which was my last organization prior to Nestle. I was doing a couple of roles. One was employer branding, one was internal communications, and there was also employee engagement. Eventually got trained into design thinking in HR and landed up at Nestle, which is my current role. How has my experience been at Nestle? Nestle so far has been a different organization, considering that this was an FMCG industry which I have not worked before. So I got to understand different facets of demand, supply, manufacturing, product design, research and development, and so on. It's a very vast and diverse organization with a lot of departments working in unison. So I am still getting to know it. It's only been about 11 months that I've been here. I'm trying to get my hands on to understanding what actually Nestle is, but what I know is that the 2-minute organization is doing a lot of good work in terms of making it a good food, good life company. I think two values which were very experiential for me were compassion. It was also my house when I was in Soil, but I think I really took it ahead when I went to COD in Sidbadi, and I did a 2-time stint within Sidbadi of actually going to people and getting their forms filled. It was actually a very inspirational and motivational time of my life. That is something that I have still carried on because I experienced it here. The second one would be diversity. I got a chance to interact with cultures and people which were so much outside and different from what I have been. That is a key takeaway, that I learned to do things differently in a way that I had not seen before or experienced before. I can apply both of these values in my organization itself. HR is generally looked upon as a people's function. However, you should get your hands on to some very key skills while you are here. Understand the basics of negotiation, understand how do you build a win-win partnership with your stakeholders, understand the basics of getting a buy-in from the business and relating all your HR skills to a business case. All of these are very important besides just being the people function. You can also try your hands on to understanding the basics of budgeting, the basics of what are the benefits, total reward statements of organizations. Please try to understand finance very closely, because that's a function that works hand in hand within HR. The 1-year program of PGP HR is basically designed to set you up for success. What I got to know from here is a plethora of case studies and examples which I could take away from the classroom to my organization. The idea is from campus to corporate is a bridge that you need to know how to sort of mitigate it, and how do you bridge this gap. At campus you will get to know and get to learn from people who are coming from outside. There will be industry visits, there will be your industry leadership program, the ILC conference. All of these will help you build those key skills which you can take then to your organization and say that you have worked on a few projects and also experience this while you were at a classroom here. A typical day in a people experience manager's life is revolving around listening. Employee listening is a key metric or a key area which you can accomplish doing surveys, FGDs, etc. Once you have gathered those needs, you design programs or processes around those needs. So the idea is to look into a process inside out, keep your employee at the center and revamp and redesign the process, which will have an impact on the business. That's how my day looks like. As a people experience manager, how do I really balance work life within the employee fraternity? The idea is to understand what are the well-being needs for my set of employees or the audience that I am looking at. Well-being needs are very specific to a few people. For some, work-life integration is more important. For some, flexibility is important. For another set of employees, they just cut short their time at 6 o'clock and they don't want any phones to be there. So it's an integrated approach. It's not a one size fits all sort of a solution. We need to look at different persona of employees and a group which relates to a particular needs, and then pitch them a solution that works for them.